What is up, everybody? It's your boy Marlo back again, along with the number one co-host in the nation. That would be
Danny Brown right here. What's up, my people?
better known as Pretty Boy Floyd. All right, guys. So listen, guys, we got a little
gotta have a Floyd though.
we got a little controversial subject going on here tonight, and you guys read the title of this today's podcast is should DNA tests be mandatory? All right, I know that might hit a lot of people in different ways, but we here, me and Danny, we don't shy away from any kind of topic. So we're gonna do our best to give you our feelings on it, okay? But listen,
especially since I got 6 kids.
Especially since he got 6 kids. So listen, guys. What we want you to do, I want you to really pay attention to this video, and I think it'll help a lot of you guys understand or get a better perspective about how this thing is going and how some men are feeling and how women are feeling. So, as always, me and Dan like to get straight to the point. Let's look at this video and then we're going to discuss on the other side, all right? Let's go.
DNA tests can free an innocent person, but in our state, those tests might not be enough to determine paternity, at least not in the eyes of our courts.
And that's because of a state law that a group of men and women call unfair to both children and parents.
Criminal investigator Tracy Vetter looked into the families fighting what they call paternity fraud.
As a young man, I was always raised, do the right thing, do what you're supposed to do, take care of your children. Oh yeah, there's some more of him there.
Brandon Jones hasn't seen the young boy he called his son in...
And this is what I say, guys, that do the right thing is idiotic. No good deed goes unpunished in this case.
More than 10 years.
We were both robbed.
This is my first picture with my daughter right here. It was one of the greatest moments of my entire life.
CJ Abernathy hasn't seen his now 5-year-old daughter in a year and a half. Abernathy delights in his youngest daughter. It doesn't remove the pain of that other loss.
Destroyed me. Emotionally, spiritually, physically, mentally. It destroyed me.
We're not using the names of the children or their mothers. Both situations are fraught with the emotionally messy issues surrounding family break.
Because, of course, they don't want to use the mother's name. Oh, no, that would just be too bad to actually hold them accountable.
Breakups.
Yeah.
But what sets them apart is that the one bit of definitive scientific evidence, DNA paternity tests, made absolutely no difference in either case.
It's frustrating. That whole aspect of it is very frustrating.
It all comes down to this simple legal document, the paternity affidavit. Brandon Jones signed the affidavit believing what the mother told him, that he...
Boom. And that's why guys never sign the birth certificate, ever. Get a DNA test.
Was the boy's father.
That's him and my mom there.
For the next several years, including a deployment to Iraq, the boy was an integral part of Jones' family.
This was before he was 1. This was the house that I had bought. This is him and my mom.
When the boy was 7, Jones went to court to improve his visitation schedule. Instead, he was blindsided.
I want to have regular visitation with my kid. And she says, sure, if you're the dad, we'll get right on that.
We contacted the mother, who confirms the basics of what happened next. A paternity test revealed Jones could not possibly be the father. He says he still wanted to be the boy's dad, but the court cut off all contact.
So there's a stereotype of guys only want DNA tests to get out of being fathers, which that is true. But in this case, this guy wants to be in this kid's life, even after being lied to for 7 years, and it's sad.
Then all of a sudden, he was not only ripped out of my life, but he was ripped out of my stepdaughter's life and my wife's life.
But Jones' name is still on that paternity affidavit. Once that affidavit is signed, parents have just 4 years to make changes. That deadline had long passed, so the state still considers him the boy's father, and for years forced him to pay monthly child support for a boy he could not find.
So the mom took the boy away from him, and he's still paying child support, and the kid isn't his.
I do get heated about it because today is 569 days since I've had contact with my daughter.
Abernathy's case is the opposite. DNA proves he is his daughter's biological father. But because his name was never on the affidavit of paternity, and he didn't know about the 4-year deadline, a judge ruled he has no legal right to his daughter.
I'm just a dad who wants to be a dad. How is that a crime in this country? All because of this piece of paper.
Yeah, this.
Both men now are part of a group working to change paternity laws.
You shouldn't be able to declare someone a father without a DNA test.
They believe the DNA test and its definitive information should be the starting point, giving parents 4 years from then to go to court. And they have legislative support.
I think we need to have fairness.
Representative Michelle Collier believes a bill may have enough traction to pass this year.
In this day and age, we have very complex families. And at the same time, I also think that it's important for people to know the truth. Oh, here's another one.
Well, Danny, listen, man. This is a touchy situation, man. You know what? I'm gonna let you go first on this one, Danny.
All right. So, looking at it, and it's like this is where this is where it kind of gets mixed or muffled up in the whole situation. You got women that they do their little slick things, cheat, and act up, but then they did it on the down low, regret it and everything like that. But slip up and just try to make sure that the man that they're with, so they don't lose them, and everything, and try to keep the baby that way and stuff like that. And then you got some that, and then you got women that, it could be an honest mistake or something like that. The fact of the matter is, this becomes a touchy thing because when we go into it, depending on your relationship and everything, it crosses it messes up that trust boundary. Well, if you're cheating, you mess up that trust boundary anyway. So, but at the same token, and I mean, it's the lighter persuasion that they were talking about right there. But I mean, there's a lot of brothers out here that don't do their part. But then there's a lot of sisters out here that's just like, they out playing the field, and all of a sudden you want somebody to be the daddy because they make more money. And it's like, at that point, yeah, that's when I'm like, if you're at a point to where you have to take this into family court, I would say, yeah, it should be mandatory. But if you're not going into family court and, y'all are amicable and trusting each other and this is part of your relationship, I guess what I'm trying to say is if you didn't plan to have a baby, but y'all got pregnant anyway, and y'all are faithful, okay, we can play around with that. But at some point, yeah, it needs to be mandatory because there's too many women out here playing the game and making men be fathers, and then all of a sudden, you hold it, dangling the child over their head, and then later on, oh, well, it's not your child anyway. After I done paid this many years of child support that I'm not going to get back, the other things I could have done, the turmoil that you put a man through, women think that it's all about them when they have a baby, but it's like you don't understand what the man has to go through to try to provide and try to do everything. And then come to find out it's not his, and he already has a bond with that child. Yeah, that's where it's like, no, we need to start. That's where I would be like, yeah, 100%. It needs to be mandatory. But again, that depends on in courts and everything like that. But yeah, paternity fraud is a big thing. And, I mean, greedy people, greedy women. Yeah, there's men that don't want to take care of the children. I'm not talking to them. We're talking about these greedy women that are just doing things fraudulently when they shouldn't. That's kind of my take on it.
I feel you, Danny. Well, let me start off by saying this. Ladies, there's nothing in this world, this entire world, that'll hurt a man more than to find out a child that he has grown close to, loving, supporting, to find out that that child is not his. That will destroy a man from the inside out. That's one of the most worst things that a woman can do to a man. Now, as far as my feelings on should DNA testing be mandatory, well, let's look at it. You heard what that last lady said in the video is actually moving up in the justice system, in the courts, where they're trying to pass laws to make DNA testing mandatory. Now, I think if we're going to go that way, it's better to be a law to have mandatory DNA than you going to your wife or your girlfriend who you don't know if she's been cheating. She don't know if you've been cheating, but just say the lady hasn't been doing anything, and a man go to that woman and ask her, "Well, I want a DNA test," and that woman ain't been doing nothing. Well, that's gonna damn near destroy that woman. You understand what I'm saying? Because she ain't gonna understand. I ain't been doing nothing. She's gonna think you have no trust in her. You're calling her a whore. You're calling her this. You're calling her that. That's for the woman who knows she ain't did nothing. On the other hand, you got women out here who know that they've been sleeping around with other men, but don't want to mess their good thing up at home. So they'll just let it go and make that man seem like is his child, and no possibility of being nobody else's child. And then that man find out years later that child ain't his. That's devastating to a man. But the question is, should DNA testing be mandatory? Well, if they pass a law saying that DNA tests should be mandatory, then guess what? The man doesn't have to go to his woman or his wife asking for a paternity test and have her feeling some kind of way, because it's already in law that they're going to take DNA tests when that child is born. So a man don't even have to ask that question. And then that's
this in marriage?
Yeah, period. Marriage, period. If it's a DNA, if they pass the law that DNA testing is mandatory, then it makes no difference if you're married, unmarried. They're going to test that child when that child is born. And I mean, ladies, don't get mad at me, but I think that'll solve a whole lot of issues. On one hand,
it actually will.
Mm-hmm. On one hand, you don't have to go through humiliation. From having your significant other ask you some stuff like that, and you ain't did nothing. From the man's point of view, you ain't got to go through 10, 20, 7, 8, 15 years taking care of a child that wasn't yours, because it's a law saying that we're going to test this baby as soon as it enters this earth. Now, then let me say one more thing. To women who have men on child support and it's found out that child ain't that man's, I think it also should be a law that you should have to pay that man back every single dime of that money that he has paid you in child support. Every single dime. I don't know how you ladies out there feel about that, but that's just, that's what we do on this show. We give you our takes on stuff. And that's how I feel about it. If you know there's a possibility of that child not being the man that you're with, and it's found out that it's not his child after all those years, after all the feelings this man has put into this, the emotions, the money, the caring, the loving, and especially if y'all are not together, and you're drawing child support from this man, you should be made to pay every dime of that money back, and I also think you should go to jail. I think you should go to jail for at least a year to make you think about not ever doing that mess again. What do you think about that, Danny?
I'm going to kind of play on the side of devil's advocate. The reason being is that when they do it, first and foremost, there's a relationship already built between that man and that child. Mm-hmm. So to make her pay back, it's going to be hard because she's probably She's probably had to do the single mom thing for a very long time. So it's going to be financially hard, and that might hurt the child. The second thing is it'll also hurt the man, even though he's getting some money back. Because most men, if they're real fathers, and I mean men that really want to be there, they're gonna be like, no, forget it. You don't pay me back. It's either he's gonna exit out and don't want nothing to do with anybody, or he's gonna want to still be in the child's life and help take care. And that's where it's like, I mean, yeah, when that mother gets of age, when that child gets of age, yeah, that mother needs to do some kind of time. So I will agree, she needs to do some time for lying. But at the same time, it's like, we got to look at it to where it's like, what effect will this have on the child?
I agree with you there, Dan.
Keeping the drama up, what effect will it have on the child?
I agree with you there.
So that's kind of where I'm
okay.
You
know what, Danny? I with the take that I just gave on it, and then listening to what you just said, so I'm going to kind of pull back a little bit because of what I said, because I listened to what you said, and you're right. What kind of financial, if the mother's made to pay, especially if that child is 6-7 years old, and the child is living with the mother. But when that child turned 18, the mother should have to pay back as many years as she got in child support. Because there has to be some kind of deterrent, Danny.
Yeah, that is needed.
To stop. Look here, man. You got dudes out here going to jail over child support for kids that's not theirs.
That right there.
That part. If we're going to keep this fair, let's keep it fair. Yeah, man, but yeah. So, yeah, okay, then I'll pull back on my point of view from like that, because we got to also think about the child. Yeah, you're right. If that may cause some hardship, if he has to pay back all that money while she still has that child or whatever. But then also, Danny, I look at it, she has that child belongs to some man out there, and she knows who that man is.
Mm-hmm.
Most likely, she knows who that man is, Danny. So she has an obligation to get him in court, and for him to start paying the child support and the back child payments. So we can look at this a whole lot of different ways, y'all. It's just either way, it's an ugly situation if something like that happens. But to stop a lot of that from happening, ladies, whatever. If you're dealing with a guy sexually, then deal with that guy. You don't want to be out here sleeping around with 2-3 different men at the same time. That's just nasty, man. It's just nasty, and it's too many damn disease out here for you to be going out here doing stuff like that, man. If you don't want to be with that man, leave. If you're not happy, leave. Go do go do what makes you happy. But don't go out sleeping with the next man, coming back home at nighttime, sleeping with your man and all this and all that. Man, that's just ugly. And man, you too. Don't be going out here, you got a good woman at home, having sex with her at night, going out with your side chick the next damn night, having unprotected sex with her, taking a risk on bringing a disease back to this good woman you got at home that don't know nothing what's going on. That's bullshit too. So I come down on both sides. I'm not no damn all for no man and all for no woman neither. I'm for what's right in this situation.
Yeah.
All right, man. So, Dan, you got anything else?
Nope. That is it. Because I can't say much on it because I was on the bad side as well as I'm now trying to be on the good side or staying on the good side. So,
hey guys, listen. We are 10 subscribers away from breaking our first 100 subscribers. All right?
Yeah.
10 subscribers away from breaking our first 100 subscribers. So if you haven't subscribed to this channel, Go ahead and hit the like button right now.
Hit that like button right over there. Okay, so it depends on how you're looking at it and what's your computer system. Because you can have the like right down here, and then you can have that subscribe right over here, then notification bell. But sometimes all of them are right here. Boop, boop, boop.
Right.
So either way, you know which one. Wherever it is over here, or if it's down here, hit that like, hit that subscribe. It doesn't cost you anything, people. I'm telling you, it don't cost you anything. But it sure means a lot to us, man.
Mm-hmm.
It means so much for us. If you like our content and you want to see us grow, we want to talk about a lot of things. We want to bring some good things, some positive things. You know, we're definitely going to try to bring some more stuff, you know, to spin, you know, to see some improvements in politics too. But we'll get back to that. I know everybody's tired of hearing about it. But you know, hey, just like I said, hit that like, hit that subscribe, and go ahead and hit that notification bell so you can be reminded on when we're popping up on here.
That's right.
Sometimes we want to bring you in live too.
That's right. Hey, listen, that is the goal for you guys to start coming on the show, so we can start getting your perspective of things, and not just from me and Danny's point of view. You know, even though we talk about what some of our subscribers want to talk about, we want to start going live. We want to start, even if not live, we want you guys to come on the show. If you're not camera shy, whatever the case may be, come on here. We'll be glad to talk about it. I'm talking to anybody, man, woman, Trump supporter, or whatever, Republicans. There'll be no arguing and no what's called it, because this is a show where we're just going to talk professionally and give each other side of opinion on things, because that's how we're going to grow anyway, to find out why the other side thinks the way the other side thinks. Yep. All right? All right, guys. So that's what we got for you today. I think we're going to have a part 2 coming out with this, where we have some young ladies on giving from a woman's point of view. So look forward to that, and we will get back with you guys. And don't forget, one more time, guys, hit the subscribe button. 10 more subscribers to break our first 100. And we got nowhere to go but up from there, guys, okay? We're going to keep bringing you these news. We're going to keep bringing you these hot topics, all right? Until then, guys,
yeah.
We love you guys. Y'all stay cool.
I love you. Peace out.